watching What's Up With That? We have Dr. Victoria Virus, Roberta Ringworm, Lindsay Lupus, Mary Malaria, and the HPV virus.
Hey guys, it's another episode of What's Up With That?
I'm Roberta Ringworm.
And I'm Mary Malaria, and we're here to discuss a sneaky, awful, but very preventable disease.
Ew, what's up with that?
No worries, I'll tell you what's up. First of all, this creepy, crazy virus is called HPV.
What's HPV? Hiccuping, picky vampires?
No, Roberta. It's actually called human papilloma virus. It's actually extremely common, but very preventable.
Sounds interesting. Tell me more.
Well, we all know when two people like each other, they usually engage in some type of physical activity, even sex.
Aw, isn't that adorable?
Yes, it's quite adorable. We need to be careful because HPV can be transmitted through various forms of sexual contact.
Oh well, then people need to make sure they use protection like condoms or practice abstinence, and then they can keep themselves from getting it.
Good thought, but alas, people can also get it through skin-to-skin contact if they have a cut or abrasion.
Oh, snap!
Exactly.
So how will I know if I've contracted HPV?
That's a tough question, Roberta. See, HPV is super sneaky. Sometimes a person's immune system can fight it off on its own. Sometimes it can't. If a person has contracted any type that causes warts, they could see them pop up on various sections of the body. Common places of these warts are shown on your fingers or hands. Plantar warts, those are on the feet, and flat warts are found on the face.
Wait, so you're saying that if I have a wart, I could have HPV?
Yes.
Okay, but what about sexually transmitted HPV? What are the signs of that? Warts on my area?
Unfortunately, that's a yes again. Warts will show up in the single or small group. They could be raised, flat, or cauliflower. They normally do not cause pain, but they could itch. The type of HPV that causes genital warts are different than another more serious type. It's the type that causes cancer.
What? They can cause cancer?
More bad news, I guess. The types of cancer that you can develop from HPV are cervical, cancer of the vulva and penis. Yes, man, I'm talking to you. You can even get oropharyngeal.
Oh, oropharo what?
That's oral cancer. You get growths on your tongue or even in your throat.
I don't even want to know how you get that.
Remember when I said this virus was sneaky, Roberta? Listen to this. A person can have HPV for years, even decades, without any signs or symptoms, and still develop the cancer.
Oh my gosh, this is scary.
Luckily, we have reporter Lindsay Lupus on site with Dr. Victoria Virus to discuss some truths and myths about the HPV.
Oh great! Lindsay, are you there?
Roberta, I'm here. I'm here with Dr. Victoria Virus, and we're here to ask some questions about HPV. I have some questions for you about HPV and how it's contracted.
Well, it's acquired by sexual contact or direct contact or during birth when the mother gives birth to her baby from the birth canal.
Who exactly is at risk for HPV?
Well, anyone who is sexually active is at risk.
How many different strains of HPV are there?
I'm glad you asked that question, Lindsay. There are over 100 types, but there are certain strains that are seen more frequently than others.
What happens with the different strains and their symptoms?
Well, some of the strains causes warts while others causes cancer.
Okay. So exactly what are the statistics of HPV?
Well, Lindsay, here's some mind-blowing stats on it. Well, HPV is the most prevalent STD in the world. Did you know that there are over 20 million that are affected each year?
Golly, that's a lot of people.
Sure is.
So exactly how does HPV treat it?
Well, unfortunately, there is no cure for HPV. But however, if you do have a wart, it can be removed but there's a slight possibility of it regrowing.
How is HPV prevented?
First of all, get vaccinated and always practice safe sex.
Thank you again, Dr. Virus, for coming and talking to me and answering my questions about HPV.
Well, it's always a pleasure to be here, Lindsay.
Well, there you have it. Back to you, Mary.
We also have some questions via the internet. I have my laptop here. Let's see what people are asking about HPV. Tim asks, so can I catch that human virus or HPV or whatever from holding hands?
No, you cannot get it from holding hands. What about kissing?
You can't contract the virus from kissing either. The only way you can catch the virus is by having vaginal, oral, or other forms of sexual contact.
So what if I'm like saving myself for, marriage? Do I still need to get shots? Because, I'm like totally scared of needles.
Even if you are not planning on being sexually active, you still need to get vaccinated because it's safe and it's very effective.
So if my boyfriend wears a condom, can I still catch HPV?
Using latex condoms every time you have sex can lower your chances of contracting the HPV virus, but it may not give full protection from the HPV virus because it can infect areas that are not covered by the condom.
What if my BFF has the virus and I share my non-fat vanilla latte with her? Can I get it like that?
Can't get HPV from sharing food or drinks.
Hi, and if you're wondering if you have an HPV infection, there are a few diagnostic testings that you can do. First of all, if you just have the cutaneous warts, which are on your hands or on your foot, you can just get it done just by looking through a microscope, and they can detect the overproduction of the keratin. And ladies, and another way to detect HPV infection is by the DNA probe or the polymerase chain reaction test, which takes a cervical swab and a tissue specimen, and that's usually the method of choice. And ladies, it is very important for you to see your gynecologist for your annual pap smear test. These pap smear tests can detect the precancerous cells in HPV infections, and these type of cells are the koilocytotic squamous epithelial cells, which are round and usually in clusters, just like a cauliflower.
It's horrible. Sounds like you've had.
Stop right there, HPV. I will not allow you to take any more casualties. I have the best weapon of all, knowledge. Okay, to prevent HPV from winning the war, we just have to practice the prevention methods. That's abstinence, but if you do practice safe sex, use condoms. And anyone 21 to 65 years, please get cervical cancer screening tests. And please limit the number of sexual partners. And last but not least,
Get vaccinated!